One skill that I've learned that I have, and it is extremely important to me becoming who I am, getting me to where I am today, is discipline. I am extremely disciplined. I know what I want. When I have my eyes on a prize and I know what my goals are, I just go all in, and I'm extremely good at saying no and blocking out things that aren't funneling back to that goal. And I know that that is a skill, and it's something that I'm very fortunate that I've realized, and I'm hoping that through this video it can help any of you guys and gals with whatever these goals and habits that you might be trying to incorporate into your life. It is in my bearded opinion that I believe routines are what breed habits. And when you breed new habits, this is when you reach your goals. So these tend to be the 4 steps that I have found following that routines are breeding new habits for the bearded man. The first one being writing a contract to myself. This has held me accountable. It's helped me stay committed. It is, launching a podcast. I want it to be weekly. Starting a YouTube channel. I want to upload as much content as I can create. Working out 5 to 6 days of the week. It's putting a number to the amount of which I want to do so that I can hold myself accountable. Even breaking it down to that, if you need to, writing a contract to yourself, putting it on your bedroom wall, putting it on your iPhone background if you have an iPhone, writing a sticky note, putting it to your car, constantly reminding ourselves of what is the contract to ourselves. Picking up a guitar for the first time, going to the gym, taking that cooking class that once a week that we've always wanted to take, being our biggest cheerleader and forcing ourselves to stay committed to this vision, to that game plan of whatever habit we're trying to incorporate into our lives. It is through writing a contract to ourselves, which is going to hold us accountable and be extremely, extremely helpful if we're reading it every single day. I think what we can do next, secondly, is picking a day of the week, time of day, certain weeks of the month to actually do that thing. And that's what helps us stay disciplined, because we know it is at 6:30 every single morning that the bearded man needs to be in the 24-hour fitness gym. And if he's not doing something right. It's telling myself that every single Wednesday I need to have that podcast uploaded. So that means that every Monday I'm going to spend prepping that podcast. It's actually finding chunks of time throughout the week where we are going to tell ourselves there is nothing else that is going to take over this time of day except for the thing that I'm trying to work on, that new habit. And when you have this allocated time, that's when the routine kicks in. That's when you have to show up and do the damn thing. And of course, there's going to be more days than not we don't want to do the thing. But when you have that contract to yourself and you know the certain day of the week that we need to be there and we need to be doing the thing, you have to show up and you have to stay disciplined. But if we don't have a certain time of day or day of the week that we know we want to be doing that thing, we're never going to get to it, because we're always going to find an excuse to, I'll get to it tomorrow, get to it next week, next month. Year passes, 2 years pass, then it's just domino effects. Pick a certain day of the week, certain time of day, find what works best for you and stick to the plan. Do it. Now, thirdly, I think what's really important is focusing on one step forward today. Don't think about the big picture, okay? Don't think about where we want to be in 6 months from now, a year from now. That's going to eventually come. The time is going to come, and at some point, when we stay consistent long enough, we're going to have this habit that we've wanted to incorporate into our lives, and it's going to be there, right? I wouldn't have made it to 139 podcasts if I was focused on the 139 podcasts from the beginning. No. I broke it down simpler. What can I do this week? One podcast at a time. Can I go to the gym today? Whatever it might be. Breaking it down to what can you do today that's going to put you one step forward tomorrow? Great. One little baby step. Tomorrow comes. What's the one thing you're going to do today that's going to put you one baby step forward for the next day? It's like a little game. It's like, I think they taught us this in preschool probably. What's the one thing you can do today? It's going to help us build that consistency. And with time, it's just going to keep building and building and building. And it's going to slowly, continuously build that routine into a new habit of ours. But we don't think about the one thing that we can do today and we think about all the work that's going to need to take to get there, we might not ever actually make it there. Fourthly, and just as important as the other 3, is we need to assess progress. We need to see what's working, what's not working. We need to make changes, and we need to keep going, right? We need to look back and look at what's working, what's not working. How can I make adjustments to make this process better? Whatever the habit or thing you might want to bring into your life. Of course, we're not going to have the picture perfect blueprint in the beginning, which is fine. We got to make these adjustments along the way, and that's supposed to be the fun part. It's supposed to almost be like an adventure of figuring out what works, what doesn't, and making it a little game. But as long as we continue to repeat all through these steps, at some point it's all going to give, and it's actually going to turn into into a new habit. So looking back at everything that we talked about today, is this just gonna magically happen? Is this new habit that we dreamed of incorporating into our lives just gonna happen like this? It's not. I'm sorry, hate to break it to you, but it's not gonna happen. Can it happen? Absolutely. That's where we incorporate the routines. These routines and our day-to-day lives are gonna build on that habit to the point where it's literally gonna become part of our lives that it's not questionable. It is part of our lives. Podcasting is part of the Bearded Man's life. Creating YouTube videos is part of my life. All this other stuff that wasn't part of my life 3 years ago is now part of my life because I kept doing this. I wrote a contract to myself. I picked the certain days, times of days of week that I was going to be doing this thing. I stayed consistent and I kept assessing the progress, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and I've repeated it over and over and over. And through that process, this is where we've gotten to where we are today. So as long as you have an idea for where you're going and you follow these steps and you continue to keep moving forward and you keep going, at some point, this idea, this thing that you've wanted to incorporate into your life is going to become a brand new habit because you followed the routine and you kept going. Go do it.
I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far. I'm the biggest boss that you seen thus far.